Okay, greetings. All right. Here's our sine A plus B, the sum of angles. Sine A plus B is sine A cosine B plus cosine A sine B. Okay? And I talked to most of my classes today a little about this. Let's assume excuse me, A and B are the same. Theta and theta. They're the same angles. Okay? So basically I can say sine of theta plus theta equals sine theta cosine theta plus cosine theta sine theta. Well, theta plus theta is 2 theta, so this is our first double angle formula, what they're called. Sine of 2 theta equals, what do I have here? Sine cosine, just different order. But that's 2 sine cosine theta, okay? Sine of 2 theta equals 2 sine cosine theta, number 1. Okay, let's look at cosine, okay? All right? Cosine of A plus B equals cosine A cosine B minus sine A sine B. Again, we're going to assume that A and B are identical angles, theta and theta. So that's cosine theta minus sine theta. Again, we can say theta plus theta is 2 theta. Here's your second double angle formula, and that's cosine of 2 theta equals cosine squared minus sine squared, obviously from this right here. Okay, so here's number 2. All right, the next two just come from this. Remember our old Pythagorean theorem, cosine squared theta plus sine squared theta equals 1, right? So 1 minus cosine squared theta is sine squared theta. So here all I do is I'm substituting for sine squared, cosine squared theta minus sine squared theta, but that's 1 minus, we're going to write it in this term, right? We're going to subtract cosine squared theta from both sides. All right, so cosine squared theta minus parentheses 1 minus cosine squared theta. Okay, that's what we substitute for sine squared, okay? So notice I got to distribute this minus 1 and a minus a negative ends up being a plus cosine, forgot my S, cosine squared theta, okay? All right? So here I've got a cosine squared theta and another positive cosine squared theta, 2 cosine squared theta minus this 1 here, okay? So there's their third double angle formula. Cosine 2 theta equals 2 cosine squared theta minus 1. Here's your third. Okay, also, based off this, we know that sine squared theta is 1 minus cosine squared theta, okay? And then cosine squared is 1 minus sine squared theta, okay? So just move one over there and you get the other. Move this one over there and you get this, okay? All right. So down here, I substituted for cosine squared theta 1 minus sine squared theta, right? So move the sine squared theta over here, okay? So 1 minus sine squared theta minus sine squared theta equals 1 minus 2 sine squared theta, okay? Hopefully you can follow along with that. It's not too hard. So here's our fourth double angle formula. Cosine 2 theta equals 1 minus 2, these 2 sine squared theta, okay? So you've got 1 sine of 2 theta equals 2 sine theta cosine theta, 2 cosine 2 theta equals cosine squared theta minus sine squared theta, okay? 3 cosine squared theta equals 2 cosine squared theta minus 1. And 4 cosine 2 theta equals 1 minus 2 sine squared theta, okay? Now we've got tangent, same type deal. This is rocket science. I've got our tangent formula, A plus B, 1 minus tan A tan B. Well, guess what? Same thing. Theta and theta, A and B are both theta. So it's tan theta plus tan theta over 1 minus tan theta tan theta. Well, that's... Oops, I wrote this wrong. I'm tired, kids, sorry. I've got 2 tan theta, correct? Up top. And what do I have below? 1 minus tangent squared theta. Okay? So that's what? This right here is tangent of 2 theta. Okay? So tan 2 theta equals 2 tan theta over 1 minus tan squared theta. Sorry about the confusion there. I'm very tired. Okay? Alright, 2 tan theta equals 2 tan theta, tan plus tan, over 1 minus tangent squared theta. Okay? Alright, finding exact values again for sine 2 theta and cosine 2 theta. Okay, here's if sine of theta equals 3/5. We ought to be familiar with this. And theta is less than pi, but greater than pi halves. Okay, so where's that going to put us? Not quite pi, but greater than pi halves, right here in quadrant 2. Notice my triangle. Sine is opposite over the hypotenuse. Of course, we should know that's 4. 5 squared minus 3 squared is 25 minus 9 is 16. Square rooted gives us 4. And notice I put negative because this is quadrant 2 right here, okay? Right here would be our triangle. In quadrant 2 with negative cosine. Alright? So cosine is negative 4 over 5, adjacent over hypotenuse. CAH, cosine adjacent over hypotenuse. So let's find sine of 2 theta is 2 sine theta cosine theta. That's 2 3/5, negative 4/5. This is 2 times 3 is 6 times negative 4 is negative 24 over 5 times 5 is 25. Okay? So that is your sine of 2 theta. Okay? Alright, here's cosine 2 theta. Remember, it's cosine squared theta minus sine squared theta. I take cosine negative 4/5 squared minus 3/5 squared. That's going to be 16. All of this is over 25, right? Okay? 16 over 25 minus 3 squared, 9 over 25, gives me 725. And that is cosine of 2 theta equals this right here, 7 over 25. Okay? Alright, so that gives us, that's pretty much, we got about 5 formulas. We had the 3 cosine, 1 sine, 3 cosine. We had, just to recap, we had sine of 2 theta. We had 3 cosine of 2 theta. And then we also have tan of 2 theta. That's what we'll be working. Remember, tomorrow, be responsible for what? Sine of A plus or minus B. Cosine A plus or minus B. And tan A plus or minus B. So the sum and difference formulas for sine, cosine, tangent. Okay? Alright? And that's it. Have a good night. See you tomorrow.